I had an experience today at church that I wanted to share with y'all that is just, it's so amazing, and it just testifies to me of the Spirit and the way that the Spirit is so aware and knows each of us, and He's able to sync us together with one another and help us to like just be one heart together, and just the way that he flows is just so incredible. So during sacrament, that's like communion, the time of taking the bread and the water. It's very quiet time. It's a peaceful time. It's a time of receiving. And so I like to just close my eyes and to reflect and to just prepare myself to receive. And so many times I like to open my scriptures and read, and a lot of times I'll ask like where should I look? And I always bring my Book of Mormon with me to church. And so the thought came to me, Helaman 5. And I was like, okay, I'll turn to Helaman 5. So I opened up, and a lot of times in my scriptures, I have things that are marked. And so that'll just draw my eye, to it. And so I read Helaman chapter 5, verse 12, which says, "And now, my sons, remember that it is upon the rock of our Redeemer, who is Christ, the Son of God, that ye must build your foundations, that when the devil shall send forth his mighty winds, yea, his shafts in the whirlwind, yea, when all his hail and his mighty storm shall beat upon you, it shall have no power over you to drag you down to the gulf of misery and endless woe, because of the rock upon which ye are built, which is a sure foundation, a foundation whereon if men build, they cannot fall." So I read that verse, and then I read a few verses after that, and um, one verse that stood out to me was that for they had power and authority given unto them that they might speak, and they also had what they should speak given unto them. Therefore they did speak unto the great astonishment, to the convincing. So it just kind of went on about talking about speaking. And so I do this. I speak. I say a lot of stuff. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to know, what does it say about speak? And so in the scriptures, it'll have like little letters, like sometimes that'll tell you, that'll cross-reference you to another verse or chapter or book of scripture. So I took off on that one, and it just opened me up to being able to receive some guidance and some revelation for my own personal life and experience. And I was like, well, that was really cool. I needed to read that. I needed that. So sacrament began. So the sermons began, and the first talk, the girl, she starts to speak, and she's sharing, and she gets to a scripture that she begins to share, and she says, so in Helaman chapter 5, and she went right to that verse that I had read about, remember that it is upon the rock of our Redeemer. And I thought, this, I love the Spirit. I love how he can flow through us. He can flow into us, and he can move us, and he can witness to us and testify to us of the reality of him, that he knew what she was going to speak. She had it written down. He knew, and he brought into my awareness, my knowledge. He brought into my spirit to turn to that. I mean, there's so many verses I could turn to. Why would I turn to Helaman 5? Because it was part of her talk. It was to testify and to witness to me of the Spirit. And I love that. And I love that we can turn to our scriptures and it can guide us and lead us. Like, he turned me to Helaman 5 to speak to me, to show me that. And then I was still seeking and searching and wanting to receive more. And so I took a word, speak something that I'm doing, and it took me into like a whole different thing that was answers for me and for my personal life. And so it's just amazing. I just love the spirit. I love being in the spirit. I love seeking it. I love recognizing it whenever it's like we can live in revelation. Like that's the amazing thing. We were talking in Sunday school about revelation, and I can just remember receiving a blessing one time that I could live in revelation. And it's just having that desire and taking the time and being in the spirit, asking for the spirit, seeking it, asking where should I turn, and expecting a response. Sometimes, I ask and I don't receive, but sometimes I ask and I receive, and then I'm like, oh wow, that was awesome. So it's just really cool. And I just wanted to share that because it's real and it happens. And it can happen for you too. It's not just me. He does it with everyone. So it's awesome.